Hello, every time I do this I get a little bit nervous that the technology might not work, but I'm hoping that I am live across Facebook and YouTube again. Well, here I am, 1 week post-surgery. I'm at my standing desk because I want to move around as much as I can. The lovely, sexy surgical support stockings, or socks rather, that I'm having to wear will be coming off on Sunday, I think it is. I worked it out. So that's good, but it's still good to move around and be active. I'm very, very lucky. My mother-in-law's been here and she's here for another week, and she's been driving me everywhere because I can't drive at the moment. So she's been taking me everywhere, and we've been going to shops and doing stuff. So I've had a bit of walking every single day, which has been fantastic. And yeah, I mean, I feel amazing. I really didn't expect to feel this good. I've been feeling pretty amazing most of the week. I mean, I've still got a bit of that kind of bloatedness and wind from the surgery, because they fill your abdominal cavity up with air. You know, it's a live video. I'm not going to go into, you can work out for yourselves how that needs to come out. But I've been able to drink a lot better. I'm probably up to about a litre a day, including my soups and snacky drinks at the moment, which is still not a lot, but it's getting much easier to drink more water as I go along, and I'm still really quite thirsty. So I'm hydrating my skin in other ways, so I'm making sure that I moisturise really well to look after my skin, because I don't want that to go too horrible and dry. But other than that, really, I've still got my dressings on, my waterproof dressings that I had to hunt around a little bit to get the right sort of waterproof dressings to replace the ones that had been put in hospital. They'd given me a few, but not quite enough. So being able to have a shower and wash my hair was was amazing once I'd got the dressings sorted again. But I tell you what, they're itching like mad. So they can come off tomorrow. All the dressings can come off tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that, about not having all this stuff stuck to my belly anymore. But well, the great news is that in the week since the surgery, in the week alone since the surgery, I have lost 6.6 kilos. So 6.6 kilos, that's a stone to the English speaking people who still think in stones and pounds. And for those, I know there are a couple of people at least watching from America on YouTube, that's just over 14 pounds. So actually it's just over a stone as well, but just over 14 pounds in 1 week. I know it will slow down, and at the moment I'm just really giddy with excitement, because I can literally feel and see the benefits of me losing the weight. So I look better, I think. I know I've made a bit of an effort. I've put a little bit of makeup on today, but I think I look better. I look slimmer, but I feel better. Just moving isn't as much of an effort. I'm not able to take any of my non-steroidal anti-inflammatories at the moment because of the surgery, because it wouldn't be good for my stomach. So I've been without any of them for a week, and I've had a little bit of niggly pain in my hip, a little bit of sciatica, and a bit of the tingling that I'm getting in my fingers from trapped nerves, but nothing like I'd had before. So already, even though I'm not even moving around as much as I should, if I hadn't just had surgery, I'm moving around plenty for somebody who's just had major surgery, but even though I'm not moving around that much, I'm still feeling the benefits already in terms of mobility, in terms of how my body is, which is amazing. I have had a blast creating soup recipes to just keep life interesting. And that's one of the things really leading into the positive psychology aspects of this, because one of the things I've always said, and this is backed by all the research into positive psychology, into mental well-being, is that one of the things that's really important is to make time to do the things that we love doing, the things that make our hearts sing, you know, the things that make us feel amazing. And for me, that always has been, and nothing will change because I'm losing weight with surgery, for me that always has been cooking, and eating as well, and feeding other people as well. So having my mother-in-law here as well as having to feed myself is really great, because what it's allowing me to do is to basically have fun with all these soups. You can actually hear my mother-in-law probably rattling around in the kitchen. She's making mince pies and chocolate tarts for the rest of the family. I can't have them at the moment. But yes, it's been wonderful having someone here to cook for and have fun. She's sort of doing the heavy lifting if there's any bits of equipment to lift around. But I've been making amazing soups, and it had been months since I'd had time to actually spend time cooking, and not cooking, I mean obviously I was cooking, but spend time writing up new recipes. And I'm almost writing up a new soup recipe every day at the moment on my Gloriously Good Food blog, which is fantastic. That's one of the ways that I'm keeping myself really, really upbeat. And I think when you're going through anything challenging, and this is no doubt a challenging thing that I'm going through, and I've prepared myself as well as I can for it. And I know that there will be difficult times, and the surgeon has warned me that people quite often go through a period of depression initially until they start seeing the weight come off and feel the benefits. And I'm prepared that that might happen, but I also want to try as much as possible to preempt that by doing all the things I know work through positive psychology. So one of the things I'm doing, as I mentioned, is the cooking and the writing up blog recipes on gloriouslygoodfood.com, which makes my heart sing. It makes me really happy. I made an amazing new soup today, actually. It was very indulgent. It was a spicy cheese and potato soup. It was just, oh my goodness, it was so good. I could have easily eaten more of that than the few spoonfuls that I can fit into my stomach, but I didn't, because I had a bit of an experience of doing that with a drink a few days ago, and that wasn't so pleasant, and that's all I'll say about that. So my stomach soon tells me when I've overdone it. I haven't done it since. I've only done it once in 1 week. So it's really important that you do the things that make your heart sing. And I was saying to my mother-in-law, you know, it doesn't have to be cooking. It could be anything. I mean, it's great for me because right now cooking works really well in terms of having to keep it interesting, because I have to just eat soup and liquid drinks. But it could be anything. So, for example, she enjoys knitting and crocheting. So if she was facing a period of long-term sort of illness or having to recover from something, then she could have lots of really great knitting patterns. If you enjoy reading and you've been struggling to find time to read for fun, then now would be the time to get loads of great books out and catch up. So there's always something you can be doing. I'll have the rather dubious joy shortly. I've got 3 weeks to go, just over 3 weeks to go to the deadline for my next master's assignment for the positive neuroscience module of my master's in applied positive psychology. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. But obviously writing an assignment is never that much fun. There's always a certain amount of element of stress with that. So I have to crack on with that probably from next week, really, so that I don't rush too much. And literally the day that I hand in the following day we're travelling and we're going on holiday, so that'll be lovely. Definitely something to look forward to. The other thing that I've been doing, and that's one of the big tenets of positive psychology, is focusing on the gratitudes. So the research shows that if you write down 3 good things at the end of each day and a little bit about why they're good and why they happened, if you do that for 7 days, a lot of the research shows that, specific research by Martin Seligman shows that you can actually improve happiness and reduce depression for up to 6 months, which I think is pretty phenomenal. And actually the research that Seligman did showed that the reason some people had such fantastic long-term results on that was that they actually kept going after the 7 days. And you would only really do that when you were participating in research if you were actually feeling the benefits. So keeping a gratitude diary of some sort is a fantastic thing to do. Now, I must say I haven't actually been writing the stuff down at the moment, but I have been really sort of waking up every morning and going to bed every night with a feeling of gratitude for how well things are going, and really focusing on every little bit of progress. Oh, that sounds like there's some pies ready. So I've been focusing on every little bit of progress, celebrating every success, sharing that with people, and that's been really helping me. So sometimes gratitude can be a bit of a big word, but if you think about, this is the way that Seligman's done it in schools, for example, if you think what went well today, the 3 W's, what went well today, that's really powerful in terms of just helping you keep your brain focused on the positive stuff that's going on, rather than focusing, and you know, there are a few negatives. I mean, in terms of my digestion stuff, it's not all that pleasant. I've mentioned the gas and the itching. Oh my goodness, the itching from the dressings is horrific. I couldn't get to sleep last night for ages because of the itching. The reflux, which has been triggered and made worse by the surgery, although it's starting to settle down a bit, thank goodness. So there are always negatives, but I'm choosing not to focus on those because I don't want to drag myself into a negative spiral. I want to focus really on all the great stuff, and so much amazing stuff is already happening as a result of having had this surgery. So that's something that you can do. So it's not just if you're having major surgery to lose weight, it's anything in your life that's kind of challenging, difficult times that you're going through. If you think about the three good things or the what went well today, and if you think about trying to make time for some of the activities that make your heart sing and fit them into your days, that can be really, really positive to actually boost your mood and your well-being. And one final thing, I'm doing these videos and I'm doing them because I know that there are a number of people that have asked me to keep in touch and let people know how I'm doing. And I thought actually the nicest way to do that would be to communicate with you all directly by video, rather than spend ages writing blogs, and they're not as accessible and as direct as a form of communication. And what's particularly interesting about that is, of course, that the minute you actually start communicating with people and doing this, it's some kind of way to add meaning. And I'm just looking at the messages. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you. I feel great. Ciao, Silvia. Grazie. Mi sento benissimo. One of the things about happiness, people think that happiness is a very selfish endeavour, and actually it's not. It's quite the opposite. One of the biggest ways to be happy, to boost your happiness, your mental well-being, your resilience, all of those things, is actually to do something for somebody else, to add meaning to your life. And I think I have plenty of meaning and reasons for having this surgery done, but actually knowing that in some way me doing these videos might help some people who are thinking about having the surgery done, some people who've had surgery done similar to mine and who might be going through challenging times with it, and also just people who are really, really curious and want to see how I'm getting on, because they want to see how I'm doing. If doing that and doing these regular videos is helpful in any kind of way to people, even if it's just to satisfy their curiosity, then that's an extra layer of meaning for me, and that's a great thing to do. So I'm really happy that I get to do that. So I think I've rambled on for enough for one day, but it's been lovely to chat to you, and I'll be back at some point next week. I'm looking forward to a great weekend with both my daughters home and celebrating my eldest daughter's, Charlie's, 21st birthday on Sunday. I know, I just look like a spring chicken. I know you'd never guess, but yes, my eldest daughter is 21 on Sunday. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm going to cook up a lovely treat for the family. They're going to have steaks with a cream and gorgonzola sauce. And so I thought I'll actually make myself a broccoli and gorgonzola soup. So like a Stilton and broccoli soup, basically. And I'll have at least a little bit of that flavour shared with them. And then I'm making tiramisu, which is of course my absolute signature dish, and it is Charlie's favourite, absolute favourite. So that's going to be her birthday cake by request. And the great thing about that is that the creamy part without the biscuits, you know, the mascarpone with the eggs and the liqueur and the sugar and all that goodness, hopefully it won't make me feel sick, but I should be able to have just a tiny, tiny taste of that, because that kind of comes under the remit of liquid diet. So I'll have a tiny little taste of dessert with them, so I'll feel that I'm participating properly in the celebrations as well. So that's it for today. Thank you so much, those of you who've commented and liked, etc. And I hope I've not bored you too much and rambled on too much. And I hope there's some useful tips in there as well, not just for post-surgery, but for life. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back next week.